we've done at our school is we have changed in-school suspension to in-school solutions. So no longer do you come to this room and be housed in a place where you are now babysat or you are now stuck there because you can no longer return to class or be in part of this community or society in the school. What we have done now is we have put you in that room to tell you you're here for a short amount of time, you gotta go back to class. So if you come here, we're going to attempt to fix the issue that brought you into the room, and then you return back to class. So we are totally about, and I used to be, about social emotional learning. We are about restorative practices. We are about second and third and fourth and fifth chances. We are about giving youth and teens focus and a voice throughout society. So in the beginning of our organization, our org was started by a gentleman named Darryl Alec. And Darryl Alec was one of the biggest drug dealers in Connecticut history. His father's name was Green Eye Dave, and he may have been the biggest drug dealer in Connecticut. Darryl was 16, he inherited the business. And what happened was, as he started to grow up and his business became 70 people strong, his brother was going to LSU and he was on his way to the NBA. He came home for one summer and went to visit a friend, and through that friend's window, someone shot through the window and murdered him. When this happened, residents, municipalities like the mayor and others knocked on Darryl's door because they knew that he had so many people and he had this power in the city that he could destroy the city. They asked, what could we do for you to not do what you're going to do? Because we know you must retaliate. Darryl said that night, God spoke to him. And when God spoke to Darryl, he followed his calling. And his calling, he believes, and I believe, was to start ICE to be. Was to put down the guns and the drugs and to heal his neighborhoods and the community. When he started our organization, they first started off doing what is called bereavement. Someone would get shot, they were there, some with the first responders, with the families. They would go to the hospital with the families and be there for that family. They were connected to all the funeral homes in the city. And what they would do is, if the person passed, you be able to get a free burial, free casket, free plot to bury your loved one. For me, that was very important work to me. Because when you have a 16-year-old, 25-year-old in the inner city in a poverty-stricken community, 90% of those families do not have life insurance. You're definitely not expecting your 14-year-old or your 12-year-old or your 16, 17-year-old to be murdered. No, you didn't plan a contingency plan. So what they would do was be there for the family and to help the family be able to bury a loved one. Another thing that Darryl was doing, he had pull in the city. So if two gangs or groups of people were having issues, that's for example, Crips and Bloods, if they were beefing, they respected Darryl. People that ran the top of these groups respected Darryl. And what Darryl would do, he would come in and he would sit as a mediator, as a love bridge between these two groups and talk, have these two gentlemen at the table, the leaders, and get them to squash their beef, stop their problem. And he was very successful at doing that. But beef is, in the inner city, beef is when you have a problem with someone, when you hate someone, you hurt them. We have an issue, call it beef. So icing the beef is cooling the problem, stopping the problem, solving the beef. That's where our name comes from. For Me, back in the day, I was a big drug trafficker. I was the guy bringing the drugs for the drug dealers. A bunch of them. And through my travels throughout life, I found God myself. I was going to court, getting ready to be arrested for 5 years. Angry, got in the car. I was walking down Howard Avenue, crossing Legion. I said, God, if you real, get me out of this one, I'm all yours. Because I knew there was no way out. I have exhausted any opportunity to not go to prison. So if you're real, get me out of this. And I know you're real because there's no way out. I was walking, I crossed Legion Avenue, and I got in front of the YMCA. And something, and I believe it was God, said to me, go and see Mr. A. Now, Mr. A, Tom Anastasio, was my old mentor when I was like 14 years old, 13 years old. And I walk into that building, and I sat down with Mr. A. I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm fuming. He said, how you doing? What's going on in your life? I said, he said, you want a job? I said, what? He said, I'm going to prison. I said, I heard you. Do you want a job? I said, what I got to do? You're going to watch the game room with the kids. You go in there, you watch the game room. Make sure nobody breaks anything. You go watch the game room. If my buck over my head, I'm going to jail. That's better than having a job where we're kids you go to jail. I'm not thinking anything else but I'm going to jail. I go into this room, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching. My job was to sit on the chair and funny. Yeah, the old video game systems. I enjoyed playing video games. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy all the new systems. We had about 10 kids in that room. I bought all the new systems back in these days. Nintendo 64, at my age, Sega Dreamcast, and I bought all the new games and the game system. The very next day, I had 20 kids in the room. Now I'm here with 20 kids who are doing their thing, and I'm minding my business. I got bored. I said, I'm gonna talk to them. So I got up on my chair and I started to engage the youth. I started to talk to them one by one, get to know their name. What's going on with you? Talking to them, talking to them, talking to them. And I started to build a relationship. One day I missed work, I didn't come to work. One day that I missed work, I came in the next day, kids were like, we about to steal a car. We're doing this. We're about to smoke weed. We're going to do this. I'm like, well, you ain't got to do that. Why are you doing that? Because you wasn't here. Wait. You were going to steal a car because I didn't come to work. Yeah, you wasn't here. Games were off. So, if I come here every day, you're going to be here every day? Yeah, you turn the games on. Never miss another day. These 20 so it's all guys. And these 20 young men became my children. I was with them every day. On the weekends, they were at my house. To this day, these young men, they see me and go, Chaz, you changed my life. I say, no, you changed my life. Now you're old, I can tell you why. You changed my life. Because if I didn't meet you and God didn't put me in that door, I would have never changed. So as this time is going on, I'm working at the YMCA, and I had gotten a couple degrees now. And I've been there for 13 years, and I'm working for the Board of Ed for 13 years at the time. And I said, okay, now I'm going to do something else. I was also a rapper. Opened up a bunch of stars, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, J. Cole, Miguel, Joe Buttons, Full Force, Force and D's. I was opening up for a bunch of stars. I bumped into a person named Gene Roberts, and Gene Roberts was the lead zombie in I Am Legend. What he was doing was, he's the zombie, it's only really one zombie in the whole entire movie. It's the Guy at the end trying to get more smoke. Banging on the glass. That's Gene Roberts. I met this guy, and they took a chance with me. All these doors opening because God put me in that place. Next thing you know, I'm on the background. Spider-Man 2, The Following, Blue Bloods, The Blacklist, Luke King, Iron Man, Daredevil, and the list goes on and on and on. Now I'm popping in the movie industry. I'm getting auditions. I'm meeting stars. I get picked up in a Maserati when I get to New York City, and then Daryl calls me. Daryl says, "I see you going crazy in the movies and stuff. I love what you're doing. You want to join Ice to Beat?" I'm like, "Bruh." I said, "Okay. I tell you what. I'm great at building kid programs. 13 years, I'm a youth service guy. That changed my life. I can make a kid program and they kids will come." He said, "No, I want you to be president." I'm like, "Wait, too busy. What I'm doing right now. You guys all over the news and stuff. I ain't got time for that right now." That was a very hard guy to say. He was trying to convince me. And I said, "You know what? The real problem is I'm a youth service guy. I can't find castles. It's not my thing. I can't be at a hospital with someone that just died, and that's what I'm doing every day. In fact, why are we not being preemptive? Why are you not saving the people before they die?" I said, "I tell you what, I will take over as your president under one pretense. We're not finding any more caskets. We go into youth services. If we go into youth services, with kids every day, I'll be your president." He said, "Go ahead." And that was it. So from there, we started to create youth programs in the city of New Haven. Investing in our future. Investing in our future may be the most important thing for us to do in life. Making this investment into the younger generation. Because the younger generation are the ones who lead us in the future. I'm 43. I'm going to one day be 70, 80, whatever. He's going to inherit this city. He's going to inherit America. So we must invest in the future. How do we change gun violence? How do we change systematic racism? How do we get gender equality, economic equality, criminal justice reform, social justice reform? What's the answer? Nope. One way. The future. And it's how do we change it? You want to change gun violence? Children. And it's wrong. You have to teach the children that it's not right. When you're older, you're gone. They take over. When I was younger, we had a problem with drop-offs. You get 16 years old, you drop out. So all across America, every TV channel played commercials about staying in school and not being a dropout. How many of those do you see today? None. They were played constantly to get people to make sure that they did not drop out of school. But today, you don't see those. Why? Because teenagers and youth, they want to graduate now. They want a higher education now. In my day, that wasn't there. So investing in the youth, talking to the youth, having them start to make new decisions, that's what changes racism. Do you think a baby, in the womb, got a gun? Oh, the baby in the room is a racist. No one's going to grow up and be a cop that's a bad cop. Of course not. These are learned behaviors. These are things we teach our children. The color of his skin is bad, he's going to think the color of his skin is bad. If I tell a baby treat me a certain way because the color of my skin, that's what they're going to do. So if I teach them to love everybody, no matter who or what you are, or what you represent, my son loves everybody. Because that's what I'm teaching my child. So the way to change these things, we have to invest in our future. Invest in the people that's taking over this country. And that's what ICB started to do. For a long time, I was a single parent for my child. Single dad, all by myself. 7 years, my child. And I'm a tough guy. I'm a bad man. It was hard for me to do come on, baby. Come on, man, let's go. That's how I was raised. I knew my kid needed to have balance. My next word, besides the future and the best in our future, is balance. I knew I had to teach my child balance. I can't be tough all the time. Gotta be a little hugging. Gotta be a little, I love you. And I'm raising a man. You want to be tough. What I did was, my mom is like Medea. Straight up. Yes. No filter. My mom's like Medea. Tell you like it is. Loving. Caring. She gonna tell you like it is. What I did was, I said, I'm gonna give my son balance. I'll let my mom play good cop, bad cop with him. My mom will be the disciplinary, and I'll be the counselor. I'll be the one to come on, baby, it's okay. Then when it gets a little bigger, now I can show my really am. Like, okay, you good now. We can go do this. What I did was I taught my kid balance. So all of us here, I have a challenge. Can help someone in youth in our city become balanced. How? We have to bring back that village mentality. Some of us remember back in the 60s and 70s, we got off work, they went in a house, sat at a table, the family had to eat together. I don't care if you were in poverty or what, you got to sit down with your family at a point in time out the day. Not today. Kids are on their computer, laptop, phone, they watch TV, everybody doing their own thing. Right? Many single family homes. So what we come into play as ICB is we're now going to fill in for your mom, or your dad, or your grandma, or your grandpa, uncle, aunt, brothers, and sisters. We become one family. We bring back that village mentality. Hey, my kid, yes it is. If a kid dies in New Haven, that was your kid. The sad part is, when it is our children, now we want to do something. Before, maybe we could have negated this problem. We have to bring back that village mentality. Someone goes to the street and need help, help them. We got to teach our next generation to love everybody no matter what. We know we have rhetoric that's so divisive in our country. But I challenge you to love somebody else. Help somebody in your neighborhood, on your block. Because no one likes to hear gunshots in their life, right? No one likes to see the tape. No one likes to watch those scenes. But the only way to make that change is to invest in the future. Because right now, if you're 20, 30, it's your decision. You make your own decision. You choose. I'll be over in the block. And everybody. And that's something that's happened to everybody in America. That's an opportunity for people in America to come together with each other. Many families are being hurt and killed and what you have to do is still help that person. Help the next person. And be there for the next person. And it ain't just about COVID. It ain't just about gun violence or domestic violence. way we live our lives, period, America changes. General. You can bring up any problem, and it's still going to be, it's the future that is not right. And they'll take over and it'll change. 100 years from now, they're not going to talk about racism and stuff. They're going to look at the videos of these marches around. You'll have the videos and the movies. They're going to say, oh, yeah, back in those days, 100 years ago, this is how America was. But the future will change because the kids are a little different than we are. The kids are the ones who inherit the entire future. Now, why do we have gun violence? So many reasons. Nice to be, we trying to tackle all of them. You can't just do one thing. The main way is to invest in the future, get the kids to change everything for us. If you invest in the children the right thing, everyone's not dying. There you go. What the president does. On November 3rd, you have an opportunity to get that president out of here. If you don't like him, go vote. The next one cannot stop. But the problem is, don't go vote, we can't complain. Because you didn't do what you had to do to take him out. So, one reason we have a lot of gun violence is in poverty-stricken communities, those communities have been redlined. In those poverty-stricken communities, they have been redlined. What does that mean? You can't buy a house in your neighborhood. You can't buy a house in your neighborhood because the bank will give you a loan in your neighborhood. These communities have been redlined in the 1960s. Poverty-stricken neighborhoods. You also have neighborhoods, systematic racism once again, one of those causes of gun violence in our communities. Maybe the government not helping is one of those causes. But at the end of the day, if you don't make a decision to change it yourself, if you don't make a decision to go make a change, we complain and say whatever we're going to say. But if you're not going to get up and do something about it, it's not going to change. Okay, the government, oh, it's the police. Police ain't shoot my cousin. My cousin got killed by a brother. Our fight is that we want to get our people to stand up for our people, tell our people that it ain't right. We forced to get a whole shooting range in New Hopeville out of New Hopeville. I'm living on Bassett Street. I was in bed at 8:30 going to school. It's a Iraq. I got up, walked over there, and wait till they stop shooting, and I yell, yo, sergeant! And then talk to you. And the sergeant came up, and I said, brother, you got kids? Yes, I do. I said, are they shooting right now in your neighborhood? Are they practicing shooting in your neighborhood? It's Thursday night, 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. My kid go to school. Your kids go to school? Yeah, what are they doing right now? Get ready for bed. So guess what? Got you. We'll shut down. You walked away and they shut down for the night. Why? I got up to do something. We can blame anybody we want to blame. But if we're not going to get up in our own neighborhoods and fight for our own neighborhoods, ain't no change going to happen. That's one of the things we do in Nice to Beef. We stand up for our neighborhoods. We do marches for voting rights. We do marches for good jobs. Because if you ain't got no job, you don't have no money, you have no hope to keep it stay in poverty. That's why we tell Yale to pay, make sure we are paying residents in New Haven. So people can make money and go to work. Pay them $20 an hour. Now you're thinking about going on vacation and getting a car. You're not thinking about where my food coming from. Or lights. I gotta get a little hustle on so I can feed my family. And that causes different things to happen to everybody. But those are all decisions. You made a decision today. Come here. Someone made a decision to pick up a gun. These are all decisions. You have to make a decision that you want change and you fight about that change. Now, I see we have two programs that we do. One program we do is called Education in the Stage Arts. What I want is, from my years working with kids, is that when you're in preschool, you're little, how do we all learn? We learn through play. When they get to first grade and second grade, they say, no more playing. Sit down and do this work. So what we said was, no, we're going to recreate play for teenagers. Let them have fun. And then we'll put in civics, right, Mr. Muhammad? Then we'll put in youth in government. So this program, education in the stage arts, singers, dancers, rappers, actors, public speakers, anything that can be done on stage will get you a professional, put you with a professional, and teach you how to do it. And then we give you shows to do those things. Then the program called Youth for Government. 230 high school kids take over the Capitol in Hartford every year. We are going to have a delegation. They sit in the House, Senate, and a 3-day mock legislation. And they run the Capitol for a week. Warrior, right? First thing you think of, right? If I say a knight to you, you would say warrior. Fighting in war. When there's no war, how does a knight act? He is a noble, he is a gentleman. He's opening the door for it. He is the epitome of chivalry. So we always teach you, this open the door for her, right, Dave? Open the door. Move a chair. You going on a date? Pull a chair out. You're on the bus, lady, you're on the bus, get up. Chivalry is not dead, it's just not talking. Girls on fire. Where young people together or those who they come together and they talk. And they, I'm kind of locked out of that meeting. I kind of locked out of there. Not invited. But they're on fire. All right. My guy Armand, we've created a new program called Art in Motion. That's going to be civic engagement. That's going to be conflict resolution strategies through art. Let's go do a mural. But it's also talking about how to make positive. You do all this positive educational things into playing, and the kids start to learn that. We have a basketball league called the Tariq B. Keys Basketball League. One of our 14-year-olds was murdered by gun violence almost 2 years ago. Identity. We named the basketball league after him. 180 young men and women come to play basketball for free every year. Only year we didn't do it. 4 years straight. Only year we didn't do it. Because of COVID. When they come on the court, they get to play. Now, before you get to play, I have Cornell Scott there help doing anger management and conflict resolution. I have men who formerly were in prison who changed their life, talking about how it is to live in prison for 19 years. All these young men and women before you get to play basketball. So through play, that's how we teach the youth. And I'm about to close out. The future is in your hands. Right now, look how old you are, you can make a decision to make a change. I don't care how small the change is. You can make the decision to make a change. Out of your little bubble. I know it's your life, by yourself, whatever you're doing. But come out of your bubble and say, today I'm going to figure out somebody I can help.